Hello, children. Welcome to my class on post fertilization. I have drawn a figure here where you can see the female reproductive system. This is the vaginal orifice or the opening which receives the sperms. Now, these I have drawn sperms. When the coitus has taken place, the sperms will move and they fertilize the egg at ampulla isthmus junction. Next is the infundibulum, which is a funnel-shaped cavity. It leads into the fimbriae. The fimbriae receives the eggs. And fallopian tube, this whole part is known as to be the fallopian tube. And the fallopian tube is responsible for the passage of the ovum when it has been fertilized to the uterus layers. Now this is uterus. It has three layers: myometrium, perimetrium, endometrium. Perimetrium is the outer layer, myometrium is the middle layer, and endometrium is the innermost layer. You could have understood. Now what happens here is most of the activity of the menstrual cycle, as discussed in the last lecture, it takes place in the endometrium part, where the layer grows and thickens. It does so for receiving the fertilized zygote, which comes here to become the embryo, and it embeds here. Now how it takes place, let me explain this. Now what happens here is when the fertilization has taken place, the zygote is formed, and this zygote then divides into two cell stage. Then it will divide into 4 cell stage. Then it will divide into 8 cell stage. And after that, gradually it will be dividing into and forming 16 cell stage. This is 4 cell stage. This is your 8 cell stage. This is 16 cell stage. And it is gradually moving. It forms a morula, and this morula then afterwards is going to convert into a 32 cell. This is 32 cell blastula. Now this blastula changes into trophoblast. Now this trophoblast, now it becomes an, from here, formation of the zygote, this is zygote, till the formation of 32 cell stage blastula. It has taken about 7 days, 6 to 7 days, and it embeds inside. It embeds inside these grooves which are there of the endometrium layer. And now children, what happens is this 32 cell stage blastula, when changes into trophoblast, it will look like this. Forms like this. There will be an outer layer, then there will be inner layer of cells which will be formed. It is looking like this. Now the cavity is known as to be blastula, blastocele. Now this is trophoblastula. Now this is found in the case of the mammals. Now what happens is this blastula then afterwards will now form villi. There will be a plug which will be there. This plug will be formed. Then slowly the placenta will be formed. There will be a formation of the layer outside the embryo. There is a formation of 3 layers. These 3 layers are formed. There is blood here. Blood is there. And as you are seeing, These are the villi, and these are the various layers. This is these chorionic villi. They absorb the nutrients from the blood of the mother and they provide it to the growing fetus. Now this is the umbilical cord. So now let us recap again. First of all, when there is an unprotected sex or coitus, the sperms are going to pass and these sperms are going to then fertilize with the egg. When the sperm fertilizes the egg, then it becomes a zygote. The zygote is going to then undergo cleavage and it will form 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 16 cell and 32 cell stages. The 30 cell stage is going to be it is going to then further transform into trophoblast and it will embed inside the inside the endometrium layer, and the process is known as to be implantation process. After the implantation has taken place, slowly the fetus, the embryo now is going to integrate it with the uterus membranes and it is going to then afterward form the placenta. The placenta has 3 layers. The outermost layer is chorionic membrane, then this allantois, then after that there is amnion, and there is a fluid which is filled there. This fluid is called as to be amniotic fluid. The fetus now develops here for the 3 trimesters and it forms a complete infant or the baby. Now what happens, children, is when it has developed, the baby has developed, it will develop its limbs, eye, brain. First of all, the brain is formed, and when it is fully formed, there will be a parturition process. Now what happens is, when it has grown, then it is going to knock. It is going to make a movement, and that movement is going to go to the myometrium. And what happens is, on the growth of the fetus into a fully formed baby, after 9 months, the baby moves. Movement of baby generates stimulus on myometrium, and this stimulus goes to the brain. And from there oxytocin is released. This leads to the contraction of the uterus muscles. The contraction of uterus muscles will take place. Due to that, the baby is with this plug is going to break and the baby will be passed out of the body of the female. This whole process is actually governed by or controlled by neuroendocrine functions. Neuroendocrine I am talking about because neuro means the brain. So brain is also involved here as the messages goes. So the childbirth actually takes place by myometrium contraction, uteral wall contraction, release of oxytocin, which causes more contractions and push by the baby also and the mother also. So all these factors are responsible for the childbirth, which is also known as to be parturition. We will discuss this in the next lecture also. Thank you, children.